Welcome back, Rainmakers, to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph, and today we're going to talk about Polkadot. Now, why are we going to talk about Polkadot? Well, I've been talking about them a lot in the last week or two, and you wonder, well, why have I been bringing it up now? Everyone was talking about it 2 months ago, and where was I 2 months ago when everyone was talking about it? Well, I was not talking about it because it already had massive green candles, and in my opinion, it's a better time to talk about things when I feel that they're a better buy, not when most of the profits have already been made and people are going to chase long green candles only to get wrecked by big retracements, and if they're new, probably get scared that it's going to keep going down and dump at cheaper than when they bought them. So if you'll notice in my channel, I tend to cover things that haven't yet pumped in a while, that I am seeing strong indicators that they will pump. That's why we're talking about DOT now, and I want to share with you not only why I've been really stoked on it the last week, but where I think it might go in this bull run. So why don't we go ahead and get the party started. Join me, Rainmakers. So welcome to the Crypto Rain channel if this is your first time. Now, I'm just an investor myself. I haven't been doing this for forever, just for 4 years in crypto. I have been investing for 20 years, and a lot of the psychology of investing is the same no matter which aspect it is. So I was able to bring some of that into crypto, but like many, I made some of the mistakes in 2017. I definitely made the bigger mistake of not taking some profits in late 2017, early 2018, and watched my whole portfolio go down by about 97%, which is a frustrating position to be in, but sometimes you're bad before you're good, and that's okay. It's just part of the process. Also, I didn't understand the market cycles of cryptocurrency because I was so new to it. But I am an analytical personality by nature, and I look at cycles. I just hadn't understood that there was pretty good patterns that I could look at to understand where things might go. And so that's made my investing this time around way better. And I stuck around during the crypto winter because I know when everybody is leaving, that's what I want to be buying. I mean, my mentor, who was my mentor in real estate investment, was worth over $100 million. And essentially, you know, he said if I were to break it down as simple as possible, for investing, I find out what 95% of people are doing, and I do the opposite. And it's almost that simple. And that is a little bit oversimplified, but a lot of that is true. So if you didn't find me talking about Polkadot when it was running up and everyone was talking about it, that's because I'm not that kind of channel. I'm not a news channel. I'm an investor myself, and I think about things like an investor. And when everybody is running into things, that's when I'm usually taking profits and not when I'm buying. And so you'll also find I don't cover those things other than to cover what's going on with the news, but tell people that at these prices, I'm not buying. So is this financial advice? Heck no, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a crypto investor myself. I've done really well, grown my portfolio into the millions. And so I know how to do this. Now, I can't tell you what to do for you. I can only share with you how I think about things and how I break it down and how I look at it. And if that benefits you, great. That's my hope. I did start this channel for a number of different reasons, which I will go into later. But why don't we get right into Polkadot? And thank you for all of you who have joined this journey. 9,600 subscribers, and I've been adding videos to this channel for about 3.5, 4 months. Okay, so let's look here at CoinGecko, and we're looking at Bitcoin at $1.1 trillion. We have Ethereum behind it at 240 million. And then Binance is, you know, still ahead of Polkadot and Cardano. In fact, Cardano's number here, or number 6 back here behind Tether. And Cardano starts to get really attractive to me, anywhere near the $1 price. And so I'm watching Cardano for maybe some more good entries. But let me share with you exactly what's going on with Polkadot. Now, Polkadot, I want to look at, if you're new to this channel, how I usually break things down. One of the first things I look at is what is the total supply versus, this is the supply in circulation versus the max supply. So a lot of their supply is actually in circulation, which is a very good thing. because then that means like there's not going to be big token unlocks that get dropped on your heads and shoot the price down. The market cap's at $43 billion, which, used to be considered super high. I think things are going to go a heck of a lot higher from here. How high? I'm going to talk about later. All right, so let's show you how to get into TradingView at the charts that I use to look at things. So if you just go here and you go to TradingView, we're going to look for DOT USDT, and I usually like the bigger exchange that I can find it on that has some history. And so we're going to, if you notice, this isn't very easy to look at. We're looking for the full featured chart. So it is going to pop up another window, and you're going to see some prior things that I have marked this out with. I'm just going to remove all of that, and we're going to look at it fresh. So when it came out on Binance, it did this big run up and then retraced to here, and there were some really good buys. And this is where I first made my entry into DOT, and I sold as it hit $6. Now, I didn't know that would be the top, but I also didn't know tons about DOT. I hadn't done a full fundamental analysis on it. I had bought just based on what the charts were saying, all the hype that it was getting, and that I knew that getting it here was a good ride and up to here, and that was a 3x. What I didn't get is this entry point. Okay, so here is a really beautifully easy to follow chart that had a very solid breakout. And so it was trading sideways for a while, and this happens. Look, it came out on Binance in mid-August. So by late August, it ran all the way up to here, and then it traded sideways for quite a while. In fact, it traded sideways all the way till the end of December. And then it broke out sharply. And so this is what we call a breakout. And it broke out, and it didn't run straight up. It broke out, ran up, retraced some, ran up, traded sideways some, ran up some more, then trading sideways, and now we see another breakout. In fact, let's chart this out. It's exactly what it's doing again. Now, how sharp will this breakout be? We don't know. We don't know, but it is going to have the parachain auctions coming in a little bit. Kusama has been eating up a lot of the steam for those interested in Polkadot. They've been buying Kusama token, which has pumped tremendously. I mean, if you just look at the charts, let me put it on a bigger time frame. Let's look at the daily. There we go. And let's just look since beginning of December as well. We are going to look at exactly how many X's it has increased. So basically a 10X from the beginning of December to here. And with their parachain auctions coming soon, and I think of Kusama like the kid brother to DOT, they're strongly correlated and related, but they're going to be launching the Kusama parachain soon. And so there's been a lot of attention going to Kusama, and it's just been relentless on its steady price increases, finally now having a bigger retracement. But they have some good gains ahead of them still in general. Just they've had a lot of, they've 10x, so a big retrace and some trading sideways wouldn't surprise anybody. All right, back to DOT. This is what we're looking at. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you've heard me talk about DOT in a few videos. I just hadn't made a specific one about DOT in quite a while. And so, but you have heard me mention DOT was breaking out because we're not early in the breakout. We're not terribly late either. It has just broken out, but I was talking about it here. And so it's gone up a little bit since here. It's gone up 12% or 13%. Now, just be aware that this could happen like this. When breakouts happen, you don't always know exactly where it's going to go from here. Oftentimes it'll break out, and then it will actually come back and test this line. And if this now holds its support, it then can run up like this. Or it can run up and create a new pattern of trading sideways like this. That's actually what we saw when we looked at the daily time frame when DOT first came out back here. No, that's not what happened. It did run up from here. There was another one I was looking at earlier that did that. So this breaking out, it could trade sideways, and then at some point it's going to resume the parabola or the parabolic rise. Now, you don't know exactly when, and that's the hard thing in crypto, and that's why patience is so important in any kind of investing, is because you don't know. And that's another reason I don't trade on leverage. Now, there are only 20% of people who trade on leverage who are successful at making money. And I don't suggest trading on leverage for exactly the reason of you don't know exactly what it will do. And the people who are really, really good at charting and really, really good at risk to reward, they're the only ones who successfully trade on leverage. So I don't suggest it until you've been trading crypto for about 5 years. I don't even trade on leverage because I don't consider myself good enough to be in the 20% that makes money on leverage trading. Do I make money on spot trading? Yes, I've done very, very well. And big part of that is I just identify projects with good fundamentals, with also the chart looks good. And then I'm patient and I wait it out and I buy cheap and I sell high. It's really that simple. I guess a little bit more complicated than that, but those basic principles hold. And so I don't chase long green candles. In fact, I had sold my Polkadot here. I missed this re-entry. And so when it was going up like this, I didn't buy more, but I've been buying more as it's been trading sideways. Anytime it hit below $32, I've been accumulating more, knowing not when this breakout would happen, but that it would happen at some point. In fact, when it did break out here on the smaller time frame, and it was doing this little number, I want to get real close so you can see. It's funny how it broke through and it came back, and it used that then as resistance. And I entered on some more Polkadot. Now, I do understand by making that entry that I'm patient, because like I said before, it could do this and then resume in here. And if it does do this, I will not be mad, because I have plenty more things that I can sell that are a good position to sell. And I would be buying up anytime I hit that trend line. And if I'm really, really lucky, it would break down and trade down here. Now, do I think that'll happen? No. Would I be mad if that happened? No, because I don't put all my portfolio in one basket. And if it gets that cheap, what I evaluate is what's doing really well, and that's at a good sell point, so that I could sell it and I could make more entries in Polkadot when I'm getting it totally on sale. So let's look at the bigger thing that I want to share with you is where might Polkadot go? Now, this price prediction is going to seem unrealistic. Maybe it is, but I don't think it is, and here's why. I remember what happened in 2017. In 2017, about 5 times the number of people that were in crypto entered crypto, and they were throwing money at everything. And honestly, I was one of those people that was new. I wasn't throwing money at everything. I actually only threw money at a few different projects, because I didn't know what was good and it was totally overwhelming. And if you're new, you know how that feels, and it feels like everyone's making money but you. And I didn't know how to be patient with it, because you would see things pop off. And so I made a little bit of mistakes in chasing green candles and other things, but overall I did pretty well. I think my portfolio maybe went about 15x, maybe not quite that, but somewhere around that. And then some massive retracements because I didn't take profits. Now, I did only get in like late October, so I missed a lot of the bull run, and I came in just at the end. And I came in before some of the craziness, but the utter craziness that happened at the end, when you have that many more people come in, what's interesting is if 5x the number of people come into crypto that were compared to what was here already, the prices of crypto don't 5x. They vastly outperform that. They go like 100x or 20x or 30x. And so here's what my best guess is what's going to happen. I'm going to share with you short term what might happen, and then long term. Now, in order to guess like in the next few months, we're going to use our Fibonacci retracement tool. Now I'm going to go from this line. And so I'm going to take it to here, and you'll see the 1.618, that's usually when I'm trading for, just like swing trading, for a month to 3 months. This is usually, I take profits just below this point in case it doesn't quite hit this point and then comes down. I take profits just below this point, so I would be taking profits at 106, and I'd be taking profits, some more of my profits, at 186 if I were swing trading this. I'm not sure I'm swing trading this. I think I'm going to hold for not what it might do in the next month or two, but what it might do in the next 6 months or so. And we're in April, so yeah, about 6 months-ish. And what I think it might do in the next 6 months, in order to look at that, we need to go back to CoinGecko and we need to look at market cap numbers. And so here we are with Polkadot at $43 billion. And where do I think it could go before this market is done? Well, really, I think it could go to, you're not going to believe me on this, but $1 trillion. I think both Polkadot and Cardano. This is just my guess. This isn't financial advice, any of this. This is just how I look at things and how I make my own decisions for my own portfolio. Now, am I going to hold everything and put all my eggs in one basket hoping that it hits that $1 trillion price cap? Now, if it hits a market cap of $1 trillion, realize that the price is pretty close to this. So what that would do is that would be about 25x from here, or roughly that would take this to about $1,000 per Polkadot. Now, am I going to hold everything till it hits $1,000? No. When I see the strong parabolic movement, that's when I'm going to be selling. So being able to pick it up around now, great. Well, this is in my my less risky part of my portfolio. Polkadot and Cardano are what I consider my less risky, less volatile. And so they might only have about 25x gains if we're lucky left in them. I have other ones that'll probably do far better than that, but they also have more risk of going to zero. So what this might look like if it goes parabolic is it might look something like this overall. Now, what it will really look like is kind of this, but as it hits, and realize this is on logarithmic scale, so yeah, let me put it back on logarithmic because that's where my drawings are. But as it hits numbers like this, like 300 and 700, I'm going to be taking profits there, and only a small portion is going to be riding out, and it might only be 10% left riding out for that price point of just under $1,000. Why? Because I don't know that it will go there. I just suspect that it will go there, but I'm not going to put all my eggs in the basket riding till that, and then if it falls short of that and then comes down, like I missed some good chances to take profits. So will it go a lot higher than what I'm buying it at? I will be shocked if it doesn't. But who knows? I mean, it's crypto. What if a meteor strikes the planet? Who knows what will happen? So, yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. I hope that's helpful to all of you. Now, I do have some more things I want to share with you if you stick around. I wanted to share with you this quick video on why I started this channel, and then I want to go over something else I'm looking at.
Thank you for joining the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murphy, and if you haven't already, would you hit the like button? Also, if you subscribe to the channel and join us Rainmakers, well, the goal of this year is to make this year completely rain on all of us. And we're going to do that by having on some of the best guests and some of the best project teams come on and answer our questions as we get the best information so that this year will be phenomenal for all of us. See you soon.
All right, so something else I want to go over is I want to share with you Engine Coin. Now, I haven't been covering Engine a lot because back when I was buying it, I didn't have my channel. I was just buying as an investor. In fact, you can see my charting of, this will actually tell you when I was buying it. All right, so I was looking at this trend line here, and it had been pumped pretty good here, and it did this little double top here and then was retracing. And I don't like to buy, if I hear like 20 different YouTube channels talking about some token, that is not when I'm buying it. I'm going to wait till it cools. And I'm a big believer in that Engine will probably be one of the coins that's around in the future, probably 20 years from now. I don't know that for sure, but I put it in that category in my mind of ones likely to be around 20 years from now. Polkadot, Cardano, Theta, Engine, Kusama, those, there's other ones, but that's just a quick list of ones likely to be around 20 years from now, in my opinion. So I was looking for a good entry to pick up engine, and I had a little bit that I sold at some point back here. I don't remember specifically, but at this point, I don't remember that I was holding any. And so when I saw it come down here, I made a lot of entries around 13 cents. Now, it wasn't the cheapest. I saw it break out of here. I could have gotten a lot cheaper at 11 cents, but when I saw this breakout, I knew, it wasn't the best time in the world to buy, but it was a fantastic time to buy. And so I bought some, and then like what usually happens, and you find this happens to yourself, is you buy on an entry like this, and then it doesn't take off immediately. I mean, it does go up, and you're like, yay, and then it comes down. And I've just been in this game long enough to know that, I pray that it comes down on tokens that I like this, because it creates more good entries for me. So my prayers came true a little bit, as it dropped down here. And then it went off to the races. Now, I believed in it enough. I wasn't taking profits till later on in this movement. So I think it like somewhere around here I was taking profits, and take profit 2 zone was up here, and I've actually sold 70% of my engine. Now, if you wonder why I haven't covered it a lot, it's because what? Am I going to be telling you to buy it, or just saying, oh, it's a good entry when I'm selling? That wouldn't be fair to you, and it's really important to me that we're straightforward between each other, right? And so I'm not, you'll find I cover things mostly when I think they're in a buy zone. Now, sometimes I'll cover things as more of a news story and what I like about it, but I'll also be clear that it's like, I'm not buying any of this at this price. I'm covering it for XYZ reason. Because, some channels are news channels, and that's really all they're good for. I like to think that mine is good for looking at things and learning to look at things as an investor. Though I can't give financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. All I can share with you is what I'm seeing and why I'm making the decisions that I'm making, and hope that that's helpful to you. I trust that it is. I mean, it's helped my portfolio do really, really well. And, if you want your portfolio to do really, really well, my thought is that as we learn to think about things the right way, then we tend to make better decisions. And as we make better decisions, our portfolio does better. Does that make sense? So as to specifics, if you ever ask me, should I buy this? I cannot answer that question. That would be financial advice. It wouldn't be fair for me to give that to you. I don't know. I can only tell you what I'm doing. As to what you do, it has to depend on what your goals are and what your actual financial advisor says, etc. So for me, this was the sell point. Now I'm still holding on some because I know there's some more news coming, but there's a couple ways that this could go, and we don't know. It's still early in this pattern. We don't know exactly how this pattern is going to play out. And so I'm watching this pattern to see what I might do. And if it starts breaking down sharply, I might just hold it because I think engine's got another good pump or two in it. I've already taken most of my profits. Or if there's something else I really, really, really like the charts on, if it starts breaking down and not, if it breaks up, great. If it starts breaking down and not up, and there's something else I really, really like the entry on, I'm going to be cashing out the rest of this to buy something else that I think looks really, really promising. Now, this is one of the great things of having been in crypto in a while, and you own a diversified portfolio, because at any given time, certain things are pumping, certain things are, at good take profit zones, and other things are at good entry points, and that helps. I know if you're new and you're just putting some funds in here, that can be hard, and a lot of times we tend to buy 1 or 2 tokens, and what that does is it makes it hard to be patient because we have all our hopes riding on 1 or 2. And then when they're not pumping and they're trading sideways, it can be frustrating while you watch other things shoot off. And what then tends to happen is we then sell our one that's trading sideways, roll it into something that's already pumped massively, and guess what happens not too long after we sell? So say you sold engine because you saw something else pumping, and then engine does this little number and then breaks up, and then it's like, oh my gosh, darn it. And that's happened to all of us. I just don't do that anymore. Does that make sense? All right, guys. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday. I will see you soon. Oh, I do have a little bit of music by Manuela from Argentina, who made us a song for all my rainmakers out there who like all my videos and have subscribed to the channel. So if you subscribe to the channel and you like each and every one of my videos, you can consider yourself a rainmaker. So thank you.
success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting paid. Come on, Rainmakers, let's make this happen.